Ready to soundtrack your summer? With Red Bull Summer All Day Play, you choose a playlist that fits your summer vibe the best. Are you a festival fanatic, a deep-end DJ, a road dog, or a trail mixer? Just add a song to your chosen playlist and put your summer on track. Red Bull Summer All Day Play. Red Bull gives you wings. Visit redbull.com/brightsummer ahead to learn more. See you this summer.
El 2026 FIFA World Cup Meal llegó a McDonald's con 9 vasos legendarios. En el lineup tenemos Christian CP10 Pulisic, David Beckham, Lamine The Dream Yamal, Ronaldinho El Mago, Monsieur Titi Henry, Son Salih Heung-min, Alfonso Fonsi Davis, Santi Bebote Jiménez y en la portería el que no necesita apodo, Grimes.
Llévate uno de 9 vasos legendarios con el FIFA World Cup Meal. En McDonald's participantes solo por tiempo limitado, hasta agotar existencias.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Hey there, Mama Work It Tribe. I'm Marissa Lonick, working mom of 4, lover of all things flow, family, and fulfillment. You're tuning in to the Mama Work It podcast, where we take aim at overwhelm, mom guilt, and exhaustion and swap them out for big dreams, belly laughs, and productivity that actually fits into your life. Every week, we dive into tips, motivation, and a healthy dose of fun so you can slay your day even when you're busy AF. Ready to feel seen, energized, and totally unstoppable? Let's get to work, mama. Hello, mamas. Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Mama Work It podcast. So glad you're here as always. My name is Marissa Lonick. I am your host, working mom of 4 and the founder of Mama Work It, where we support women in the juggle of mom life, work life, wife life, fill in the blank life. Super interesting topic today, especially if you are a mom of kids who are on the internet and what kids are not these days. So I met this guest at the Mom 2.0 conference. We instantly connected. After being groomed online as a child, Fareedah Shaheed made it her mission to help parents protect their children from online predators and threats. Today, she's a Forbes 30 under 30 internet safety expert known for her signature SAFE method, which makes digital safety easy and accessible in the age of AI. Drawing from nearly a decade in cybersecurity awareness and threat intelligence, Fareedah helps families recognize and prevent threats to children today. Her work has been featured by NBC, CNN, The Wall Street Journal, NASDAQ, and Yahoo. And she has partnered with organizations including NASA, Meta, FedEx, H&M, Verizon, and Mozilla to educate and empower parents, caregivers, and communities. Fareedah has also been named a LinkedIn top voice in cybersecurity for her impact on digital parenting and family safety online. I know I am so interested in this topic. I'm sure you are too. Fareedah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I know you have a personal story that really shaped your mission in cybersecurity and what you're doing to help parents. Tell us a little bit more about that so we can get a better understanding of who you are and what led you here.
Yeah, so I got my first phone after begging for it at 13. I had been begging for it for years. So that was when I was like the smartphone just started to become a thing. So it was Nokia, then the BlackBerry. And so I was like, I want an iPhone. I want a smartphone. I want a touchscreen phone. And they had previously given me like the Nokia with the green buttons and the snake game on it and all that. And I thought, oh, this is not enough. And so I made this whole presentation about how what if your only child gets kidnapped because she has a Nokia phone because it took me too long to find the emergency contacts. But if I had an iPhone, I just press one button and then I could call you. So anyways, I decided as a kid that that's what convinced them to give me a phone. And so before they gave me the phone, they gave me some rules that we're all familiar with. don't talk to strangers online, don't share your pictures online, don't share your personal information online. Absolutely no social media, absolutely no online games. This is just to contact us for safety. And I was like, great. Yes, sign off on all the rules. But in the back of my head, I thought, no way I'm following that. That's stupid. And so I eventually convinced them to give me one online game, but they didn't know that online games had chat rooms and voice chats and all that type of stuff. They thought it was just, oh, I grew up with whatever game they grew up with. It's totally fine. And so I ended up going down a rabbit hole of being in online games and talking to people and getting to know them. And as a kid, if a grown man says that you're so mature for your age, or like, wow, I can't believe that your parents don't let you do that, you're thinking, yeah, like, hell yeah, I am mature for my age. So that's where the grooming started as a kid. And so many other kids have experienced this. Of course, I'm not the only one. There's over 300 million children that have experienced online exploitation and abuse. This is according to the Child Light Institute. And so grooming really starts as connection. And that's what happened with me. And I spent a few years just living a double life online, or whatever I was doing, my parents didn't know about it. I was like a really good student, teacher's pet, so to speak, golden child. All the parents loved me. They're like, wow, why can't my kids be just like you? And the little did they know that I had a double life in the back end. And it came to a head when at 16, I was talking to someone in an online game, and we had been talking for a couple of months, and he said, hey, like, let's meet up. Like, I think it'd be cool to meet up. And I thought, yeah, you're right. And we've been talking about my grievances with my parents and school and all of that. And so he always said, hey, like, you can always move in with me because I don't care what you do. So long as you just be happy, you can do whatever you want. I'm not like your parents is trying to control you, manipulate you, and tell you can't do certain things online. So I thought that's great. So I had planned to meet up with him, but I had already also packed my bags to move in with him because I thought if I tell my parents or my parents find out that I've been talking to somebody online and living this double life, they're going to ground me. They're going to be like, what the hell? I told you not to do this. And so I had my bags packed, and I went to my mother's room just to inform her that I was leaving. And her reaction wasn't the way that I thought. I thought that she was going to be like, pull the plug, you're grounded for life. But she wasn't. She was very calm, very cool, very collected. And when I talked to her years later about that moment, because I wanted to know what was going on in her mind in that moment, she told me she didn't react that way because she thought it was the best way to react, or like, I'm going to be the perfect mom in this moment. She reacted that way because she felt like it was our last conversation, that she was never going to see me again. And she wanted me to have a good last conversation with her. And she felt like she absolutely failed on all fronts as a mother. And clearly all of our safety talks and all, because she would check in on my phone, I would just delete the apps before she checked it. Or I would just sneakily get into things. And so she was like, okay, I followed all the parenting advice for how to handle the internet, and they clearly failed. And I clearly failed as a mom. So the only thing I can do is just listen to her and make her understand that I love her. And that was it. That was her only thing. And that worked. She didn't know it was going to work. I didn't know it was going to work, but I ended up staying home that night. And I still had plans to meet him, but I didn't want to meet him that day. I thought, it's like, she seems okay. I will meet you later, and I don't have to move in today. Ended up never meeting him and never moving in, thankfully. And that moment was a wake-up call for both my mom and I, and it changed our relationship forever. And I didn't know this is the work that I was going to be doing today. I went on to work in cybersecurity and threat intelligence in corporate, but those memories came back when parents were telling me their stories of their kids.
Wow. Okay, hang on. I have a follow-up question for this. So you walk into her room and you say to her, what did you actually tell her in that moment? Because you'd been so dishonest for so many years. Did you just completely open up honestly in that moment? What did you say?
Never. My thing I told her was, I'm just going to go and meet someone. Like, I met somebody online and I'm going to meet up with them. I just wanted to let you know just so you know where I am. That's it. It was kind of like a safety check thing because I always would tell her, say if I was going to a friend's house, I would tell her what friend house I was going and when I was going to be back. Back then I was 16. So I was finishing high school, or like I had a year before I finished high school. So, and I was doing like independent studying. So I wasn't going to a brick and mortar school, but I would do like some activities. So I would go to like tennis or something. And so she would know, okay, I'm going to drop her off to tennis. She's going to be back this time. If I ever were to go to get lunch with someone after tennis, I would tell her, hey, we're going to go grab Chick-fil-A at this address. And so I thought, well, if I'm going to meet somebody online and I don't know them, it would be the smart thing to do, because I prided myself in being smart, even though I wasn't smart all the time, but I prided myself in doing something right. So I thought, let me just at least tell her that I'm going to this area to meet up with this person, so that if he turns out to be a creep, she can she can call the police. That was my thought process. And I didn't really care about, I obviously cared about her reaction, but I had expected her reaction to be bad. So that's why I texted him before I walked in the room, and I said, like, hey, she's gonna have a bad reaction. So I'm probably gonna have to move in, because she's not, I don't know if I can live in a house where she's upset like this, and she's gonna try to ground me and try to control me. And I'm over this. I'm about to be 18. Like, I don't really care. You can pick me up. It was that type of mentality.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So it's not like you walked in there with a suitcase and you were like, I'm out forever.
No. I had my suitcase already packed by the door.
Wow.
And so my plan was just to tell her, go meet him if I liked him, and he was fine. And I just felt like I thought she was gonna have a bad reaction. There's no way, shape, or form did I think that she was gonna react the way that she did. So I had already planned to leave, because I knew in my head she must have a big reaction. What mom is not going to have a big reaction when you tell her you're gonna meet some 40-year-old guy at 16? Like, that's not gonna go over well.
Wow. Okay. And then all of this background, like, I'm hearing the way you're telling this story. You were smart. You were on the honor roll, let's say, like a very smart student, right? You had friends your parents knew. You played sports. You were in activities. Like, it sounds like you were on paper, like the poster child of what any family would want. And then there was this kind of second life, like you were leading. Oh,
absolutely. Yes. I can't say every single mom loved me. I don't know what they felt, but every mom that I met, we had such a great relationship. I was an only child. And so I was used to being around people who were older than me, or my mom's friends, and just being in the corner in the couch, like listening to their conversations. And so I was very used to being around adults, and they would tell me things about their kids, and like, I don't get why my kid is not listening to me, or how does your mom get you to be such a great kid? And I would just give them advice on, what to do. And I remember I would go to the kids and I'd be like, your mom is asking me for advice because you keep arguing with her. This is really bad, by the way, that I shouldn't have done this, but I'm a kid, So I'm talking to my friend, and I'm like, you should stop arguing with your parents. Like, just do what you need to do. Like, I live my double life. They don't know about it because I don't argue with them. So that's how I was as a kid, where I just felt like it was stupid to argue with your parents, because obviously they're going to want you to live a certain life. Just do whatever you want to do in the back end. You're going to do it anyways. So why have an extra headache? Why stress them out when you could just let them live in their fantasy world, do everything they ask you to do, which is what I'm doing, and then live your life. I'm like, unless you're planning to permanently leave, why bring up a conversation? So that was my mindset. And that's how I lived my life for 4 or 5 years, where I just didn't see it as a point to argue with my parents ever on anything, unless I really didn't want to do something in particular. But other than that, I didn't care.
In your mind, it was a win-win. Just kind of like show up the way they want me to show up, but then when they're not looking, do whatever I want to do.
Right. But some kids, every family dynamic is different. Every child is different. So they couldn't do that. They were like, we don't get how you can do that. We want to do whatever we want to do. I didn't get it as a kid. I was like, I don't get it. I like to have my cake and eat it too. So.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that story, as terrifying as it is.
Yeah.
Blowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them. That's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
So you're saying with Hilton Honors, I can use points for a free night stay anywhere?
Anywhere.
What about fancy places like the Canopy in Paris?
Yeah, Hilton Honors, baby.
Or relaxing sanctuaries like the Conrad in Tulum?
Hilton Honors, baby.
Ooh, what about the 5-star Waldorf Astoria in the Maldives?
Are you gonna do this for all 9,000 properties?
When you want points that can take you anywhere, anytime, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
Study and play. come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Let's move into like, what are the risks that a lot of parents out there today you think are underestimating? Because we've come a long way from when the first smartphone came out. So what do you think we're maybe naive to or we're not considering?
Funny enough, I think it's less to do with what parents don't know about the technology world. There's a lot, and I talk about it, and I react to videos all the time that people send me online or I see on my feed of like crazy stories that happen of a child being groomed on Spotify or talking through Google Maps or Google Docs. So those are things that it's great to be aware of. But I genuinely think we are focusing we're not focusing enough energy on a child's connection to themselves and to their parents. And I think we kind of make that into like, oh yeah, just have open conversations with your kids. But here are the details on how to add parental controls and monitoring. And here's exactly the newest app that you need to be aware of. And here's the list of the top 10 worst apps. I'm not saying that you're not going to see similar content on my page and what I talk about, because I do think it's important. But I do believe that the amount of focus we put on that is undeserved, personally. Talking about Roblox being worse than Minecraft, the amount of attention we're giving Roblox is undeserved, personally. I think we should be focusing more on the strategies that predators are using that we need to be more aware of. So I would say being more aware of your emotions as a parent, how it impacts yourself, your self-care, your self-concepts, self-worth, what you're teaching your kids, that matters a lot, because the kids who are the most protected online aren't the kids who don't have internet or have least screen time or have never been in an online game or don't have social media. They're the kids that are most stable internally and with their parents. So there are kids who have unlimited screen time, talking to strangers online, and are more safe than the kids that are completely restricted. And I see that all the time. I have family after family contact me when they have locked down the internet for years, and then they find out, oh my God, my kid saw a terrible video that traumatized them, because cyber trauma is real. Dr. Catherine Nibbs talks about this. She's a cyber trauma specialist. It's her doctorate is in that. And that's real. So one video can completely change your child's life, but also they can heal from that and they can grow from that. And unfortunately, they have to become resilient. Ideally, they don't have to see a video like that to be resilient, but they are going to have to. And so I believe that we're focusing less on what actually protects kids online and more of the things that are scary on the surface. So my goal with the way I talk about things online is I take what people are the most scared of, and then I pull it back to what do you actually do to protect your kids online. So I'm never going to tell you like, oh, this is the worst app ever. And then now you're sitting there like, what's the next worst app? All the apps are going to be the worst app ever. Roblox is just one of a million other apps that have access to the internet. So that's my long-winded answer of focusing on you and your kid.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense that if the self-esteem and the soft skills and the relationship is really solid, that kids are going to go into any situation, whether it's a potential threat online or whatever life throws at them. Like you said, like there's always going to be some video or something that they're going to witness, that they can kind of handle it in the best possible way.
Because they know that they have you. And that's what predators prey on. So I talk about red flags of predators a lot, because that's what matters more than Roblox being the worst platform in the world, or Snapchat being the worst app in the world, or TikTok ruining kids' brains. At the end of the day, you think it ruins your kids' brains, you ban it, and they're still scrolling on it. So what do we do? That's my philosophy.
Tell me what to do. I need to know here. Tell me.
My thing is getting kids to understand what matters to them, not what matters to you. What matters to you is irrelevant to a kid. It needs to matter to them. So when I talk to kids, when I go to schools, when I go to high schools and middle schools in particular, and I talk to the kids, I want to know what matters to them. What do you want? I don't care about what your parents want, what your teachers want. I care really in the back end. But when I'm talking to them, I don't care. I care about what you want. Because at the end of the day, no matter what they tell you, what the law tells you, what the parents, everyone tells you, I know that you're going to do what you want to do. So what do you want to do? And then let's figure out a way that you're doing it safely, securely, with trusted adults in your life who care about you, and you're not going behind their back, and you're listening to their point of view because you want your point of view to be listened to. Because I'm like, do you want your parents to listen to you? Yes. Then listen to your parents. If you want someone to treat you well, then treat them well. So my thing is, how do we get them on our side, and how do we become their trusted side? That's my main thing, because that's what predators are going for. They're going for kids that feel like, I have no safe space at school. I have no safe space with my counselor, with my teachers, with my principal, with my parents, with my grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends. I feel alone. And so the predator swoops in and goes, you're not alone. I'm with you. I care about you. What's important to you is important. That's disgusting. That's dangerous. So now we're creating an environment of kids that are going behind our back and doing things that are this, I mean, just challenging. It's not even challenging, it's scary, right? So for me, that's what I care the most about. And yeah, that's my philosophy.
Okay, that makes sense. I want to bring it back to your story for a minute. It seems like when you told your mom that you were going to hang out with this person and her reaction was so calm and safe, it feels like, right? That was when things shifted for you. Do you think if her reaction leading up to that had been calmer and safer in that way, you would have gotten to where you got?
You know, she's always been a very calm person. So I don't know why I was surprised by her calmness. I just thought because this is such a horrible circumstance in a parent's eyes, like my child is leaving, because I could see it from her point of view, but I didn't really care about her point of view at that moment because I was like, I don't want to be here. She's never yelled at me as a kid. She's never raised her voice. She's always been the perfect parent in what she was supposed to be. Genuinely, she was a perfect wife. She was a perfect mom. And that's what led me down that road. And I also didn't have a close relationship with my father. Like, he took care of me. He gave me the most phenomenal life. I lived a very, very privileged life. So I loved him for that, but we never had any emotional connection. And so I was searching for emotional connection. And my mother was like the perfect wife, the perfect, community leader, always involved in every single thing I did. She read to me every single night as a kid. I don't remember a night as a child that she didn't read to me. Her whole life was evolved around me. And I just felt like she was so perfect that I couldn't disappoint her. So no, I would say it would be the same thing because she was so calm. What I was missing was feeling, and I knew that I was loved. They gave me everything. I was the only child, very, very spoiled, very privileged. I just didn't feel like I could be me. I felt like they had a plan. They wanted me to be good, and they had a certain rules and restrictions. They didn't understand my world. They told me not to talk to strangers online without understanding why I would even want to talk to strangers. It was no conversation. It was like, you cannot talk to strangers. Strangers are bad, and especially do not talk to boys. And I'm like, why? But I couldn't say why because I knew that it would be like, because I said so. Like, I'm your parent, obviously, because they're bad and these are creepy predators. And I'm thinking, like parents, they think the world is so dangerous and I'm not listening to them. So it was more from that point of view. I never had a volatile household in that way. But I thought for sure, if one thing would make emotions arise is if I decide to leave.
Got it. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what are the hacks, what are the parenting hacks, the things we can do to possibly prevent something like this from happening. And I mean, it sounds like your parents were incredible parents.
They were incredible.
Really the best, but like, I'm hearing this and I'm like, no, everything sounds amazing. Like, I don't consider myself that good. What can I do to ensure my kid doesn't go meet up with someone they met online,
Yeah, I think there's a lot that goes on internally for kids that we all, even they don't say, none of us know. And that's why I created the SAFE method, and I created it in conversation with my mother as well, because we went back and forth of her mistakes, my father's mistakes. We went with a fine-tooth comb. We went into the research and the studies and what helps kids understand, and what did I need, what was all the conversations I had with my teenage friends and even the teens that I have today. And that's where we created the SAFE method from. It was a lot of time and research and thought and crying and hugging and therapy and back and forth to figure out, okay, what would have changed everything. And that's how I developed the safe space. So it's safe spaces, accountability, fun, and empathy. Growing up, I did not have a safe space with my parents. I had a safe space at home. We had a safe neighborhood. We were in a safe place. Like when I say, I lived in a military compound too. So it was very safe and there was no, if a predator came in, military in 2 seconds, like it wasn't even the police, it was actual military armed guard. So very safe neighborhood. But I didn't have safe spaces internally for me to be who I wanted to be in front of my parents. I felt like it needed to be, not that I was expected to be perfect, but I was expected to be good. And I was expected to not really make the mistakes that other people are making because we've told you what not to do. So how can you do something stupid? So it was that type of thing. My mom was so perfect that I felt like if I was imperfect, then I could not be who, like, I just could not be imperfect. And I just didn't like arguing. And I know they didn't like arguing. So I didn't want to bring up anything that was argumentative. My parents were not taking care of themselves. My mom was putting her full being into being a mom, into being a wife, and she lost every semblance of who she was as a person. I always called her a robot mom. And right now we're the closest, we're the bestest friends right now. We love each other to the moon and back. There's no one in the world that I love more than her. So we didn't have that growing up because she was just like robot doing all the things that she needed to do. So I just felt disconnected from her because she was disconnected from herself. So I always tell parents, please don't go through the spiral of this mom guilt of doing things for yourself because your kids need to see you do something for you, because how else would they know to do something for themselves? You're telling them to care about them, but you're not caring about you. So what does that tell them? So that's telling them that it's okay to do something for others, but not do it for you. And it's okay to abandon yourself, which means that if a predator tells me to abandon myself, that means that's okay because my parents do that. If my parents are punishing me for something they told me to do, but they're not giving me why, and the predator is doing the same thing, well, that's what love is. Love hurts. Love is this. Love is that. So that's why the safe space comes first. Accountability is if you say that you're not going to be upset with something, that you work to not be upset. You're not going to, if you say you're not going to get in trouble to do this, then you don't put your child in punishment for doing it. And when you mess up, you apologize and you go back, because kids need to see you mess up. I love when parents mess up because I'm like, great, your kid now sees that you're human. That means that your kid can be human with you. And now they understand that when someone makes a mistake, because they will go back and they apologize and they take accountability for it. Predators are not going to do that. And if they do it with manipulation and shame. But when you don't do that, it shows your kid what a safe space and what a safe person means. Because if you're acting similar to how a predator is going to act, and I know that sounds very challenging, but if you're acting that way, how can you tell your kids to watch out for a predator when it feels like love to them? So that's accountability. Fun is engaging in your child's world. My parents were phenomenal. They engaged in my offline world, but my online world was foreign to them and they didn't understand it and they didn't like it. And so anytime they were talking about it, it was met with danger, 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 lesson, lesson, danger, danger, lesson, lesson, danger, danger, danger. Okay, so how was school? Right? And for kids, that's a huge disconnection. So what predators do, or they swoop in and they create the connection in the online world. Or some people who mean well, they just have a stronger connection online because they get their online interests. So that's why fun is the third pillar of protecting your kids online, because you're engaging what they love and what's important to them is important. I didn't have that as a kid. And then E is empathy. So putting yourself in your child's shoes, seeing their world from their eyes and trying to understand how they see their world and speaking to them from that place versus speaking to them from a lab coat. I remember as a kid, the police would come in, they would talk about internet safety, blah, blah, blah. We didn't care because they're coming with the lab coat. You're coming with the badge. You're scaring us. It's just like, oh, okay, here we go again. Anyway, so I was talking to Johnny on Roblox and he said that. So now we're completely disconnected from that conversation because there's no empathy in the conversation. There's no, what are we going through, caring about it. And then also the second part of empathy is giving your own stories to your kids. Telling them what you went through as a kid. I didn't get that from my parents. It was, now we get it. Now we're having these conversations. We're very, very close. I'm very close with my father right now. We have great emotional connection. But as a kid, I never saw him cry. I didn't know what he thought. I knew that he loved me, but it wasn't like a lovey-dovey thingy. Right now, we're in a beautiful place. But before was not like that. So that situation completely changed everything for our family, and they reworked everything. But yeah, empathy would be the last portion. So that's how you protect your kids online.
That's it. Safe. That's it.
Safe. Yes.
I love it. I love it. So practical and I mean, simple to understand. Maybe not as easy to always implement, but simple to understand. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think are some general warning signs parents should watch out for? Anything like that we can just kind of take a mental note?
The first thing would be like your gut feeling that something's off, and never overriding that with logical thought process of, oh, well, it can't be because you need to teach your kids the same, to trust their gut feeling at all points in time, even if it makes zero logical sense, to trust that feeling, because it's important. Predators try to override that feeling. And so anytime someone's trying to override a feeling you have, I don't want to do this. Well, no, everyone's doing that. That's a red flag. Of like, this is where I live, and where do you live? Well, my mom told me not to. Well, who cares? Your mom doesn't know anything. Like, I want to know like the general area you're in, because it'd be really fun to see like what new fun park you can go to. I'm not going to go there because I'm not that creep, right? But you should go to a nearby park and do this. This is what I did in the park nearby me. That's a red flag. You had a feeling that I shouldn't do that because my parents told me not to do it. And I don't really even want to do it, but I'm using my parents as an excuse. But you're trying to override that. So I always say the gut feeling. Anytime someone's trying to override your gut feeling on anything. It could be a friend at school wants to post a picture of you on Instagram and you don't want to take a picture, or you don't want that picture to be posted, and they try to override that. So I would say anyone trying to override gut feelings.
Okay. Any tips on how to protect kids online without creating fear?
Letting them lead the conversation. And also we can't avoid fear, but you cannot lead with it and make it the foundation. Fear is going to be there. It's okay. It's a part of life. But if you're not leading with it and you're not making it the foundation of all conversations, then you're automatically absolved, I guess, of leading with fear. You're good.
So letting them take the lead more. So that makes me think like asking more questions rather than giving more lecture type of conversation there. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Watching movies together, watching TikToks, be like, oh, I saw this news story. Feels a little scary. Do you think they're over exaggerating? Do you think some parts are true? Like, what are your feelings when you see this story about this kid who got kidnapped on Roblox? Just let them talk. Like, I don't really care about that. Oh, do you feel like they're overreacting, or you think it doesn't happen very often, or are there? Then they might say, oh, I would never fall for that. Oh, why do you think so? What are the things? How do you determine whether someone's a predator or not? Like letting them, like you said, lead.
Okay, got it. All right, last question before we head into our lightning round. If you had to give everyone listening one action that they could take this week to maintain safety or implement more safety measures for their kids online, what would it be?
Take care of yourself. I'm a happy mom, we're talking to moms here, but happy mom, happy dad, happy trusted adult is what makes kids safer online. When you're happy with yourself, when you're pouring into yourself, you can pour better into your kids. You can withstand the annoying conversation about some Roblox thing and some creator that, and you can give space to them because you've given space to yourself. So I would say do the thing that you're most putting off because you are caring about your kids so much that you want to go to the next soccer game.
Yeah. Not the advice I would expect, but also so solid and necessary.
Yes.
So thank you.
It's my pleasure.
All right, Fareedah, we are going to get into our lightning round now, where I like to ask guests just a few random questions just so our listeners can get to know you a little bit more personally. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. What is your go-to Get It Done song?
Get It Done song. You know, I love instrumental music, like movie score music. So anything in that genre, that will help me get certain things done. I have a lot. My playlist is insane, actually.
Yeah. No, it's good focus music. I agree.
Yes.
Do you have a guilty pleasure TV show?
Oh, any reality TV show. Housewives, I would say. Housewives, I love them.
Any location in particular?
Oh, right now I'm on season 12 of Beverly Hills. I haven't got caught up. So I would say Beverly Hills is the one that I got through the most, but I also really love Potomac. I really want to start from the beginning with Atlanta. That would be fun. Salt Lake City is great. I'm sorry, I guess all of them. Dubai, I love Dubai. I don't think I can pick all of them. They're all
all of them are good in their own way, for sure. Yeah.
Yes, the only one I couldn't finish was New Jersey and New York. Those are the only two.
Oh, Get Out. That's so funny. New Jersey was my favorite.
I don't know what happened because I loved it, and then they did the table flip, and I was like, I don't know what, my brain just could not get past the table flip. I don't know why.
And was it the accent? Did the accent get under your skin?
No, I loved the accent. I thought it was so, I really wanted to finish it. I think I'm going to finish it because it was so entertaining and I loved everyone on it. But I think something irked me. That was a really long time ago. It was some character that was pissing me off so much that I needed a break. And then I took too long of a break. And then now I'm not back. And then New York, one of my favorites left. And then I just stopped watching after she left because I was like, okay, well.
I get it. When you have like a connection with a character and then they're not there anymore, it takes away for sure.
It's a lot.
All right. Maybe I should say this question with when they make a movie about your life.
Oh.
Who would you want to play you?
Oh, wow. Everyone says that I look like her. I can't remember her actual name. It's a singer. I don't know if she acts, but if she acts, I think she should just be me because I have gotten that I look like her. Like her name is actually Her. That's her stage name, her. They say I look like her a lot. And I'm thinking she should just play me. I don't know. If she acts, she should just play me.
Yeah. All right. Last question. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, I would say my superpower would be for everyone to love themselves. Like basically something where it's like a rain in the world where every part of the world there's just everyone to have a deep, deep sense of self-love and belonging. Yeah, that would be my superpower.
Okay, that is an incredibly beautiful answer. And I love that we're ending on that note. Can you tell our listeners where they can find you, connect with you, maybe join your program? You have a membership program. I know we're popping a link in today's show notes.
Yes. Yeah, that's where I help parents of teens and preteens protect their kids from online predators and threats in the age of AI. And so we go deep into the safe method, protecting your kids, all of that. So that everything is on cyberfareedah.com. So you'll see my free resource library that has all of the resources and guides to protect your kids. And then the membership, which is me literally basically having an internet safety expert in your back pocket. Like you can text me at any time. Something happens, you text me. I have a couple of text messages that I just responded to of members. And then the third link as my just working with me, if you want to work with me, and then all of my social media. So everything is at cyberfareedah, cyberfareedah.com. I would love to talk to you. I would love to support you. And thank you, Marissa, for having me.
Thank you so much, Fareedah, for being here.
Thank you.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Mama Work It podcast. I hope you feel empowered, inspired, and ready to take your next step. If this episode spoke to you, share it with another amazing mama, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps us show up wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to head over to mamaworkit.com for free resources, coaching support, and new ways to momage your days as a busy mom. Until next time, keep on working it, mama.
Are you one of those media strategy people clicking through slides, scrolling spreadsheets? Yes? Good. This is for you. Because on Spotify, there's an audience that's different, locked in, loyal, invested. They're called fans. Fans don't just listen to music, they feel seen by it, like it belongs to them. So when your brand shows up on Spotify, that's who you're talking to. And you're right next to artists like me, Lizzo. So, are you ready to talk to fans? Spotify advertising. You're among fans.
This Father's Day, when you ship UPS Air at the UPS store, your items arrive on time or your money back, guaranteed at no extra cost. It's like the father of all shipping services. It shows up to the airport way too early, just to play it safe. It's overprotective about all the things that truly matter, and it's always prompt, especially to be with family. Make it your first choice to celebrate your dad. Ship UPS Air with our money-back guarantee, exclusively at the UPS Store U.S. retail locations. Visit the upsstore.com/air shipping for full details. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Chandler Garcia. As a PICU nurse and global health advocate, I've cared for women and children all over the world. And no matter where I go or how tough the conditions get, I always wear my FIGS. These scrubs are lightweight, breathable, and super soft, perfect for long shifts in any environment. Wherever my work takes me, FIGS helps me show up ready to make a difference while looking and feeling my best. Get 15% off your first order at wearfigs.com with code FIGSRX. That's wearfigs.com, code FIGSRX.
Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry. Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable. From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces, ready to be engraved with your summer mantra. Each design moves with you, from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between. Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold.
Struggling with weight loss? Prolon's 5-day fasting mimicking diet is a clinically developed nutrition program designed to promote fat loss while protecting lean body mass. Developed at USC's Longevity Institute, it assists the body in entering a fasting-like state that helps reset metabolism and target visceral fat. In just 5 days, Prolon offers a science-backed approach to weight loss without extreme restriction or guesswork. Get 15% off plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe at prolonlife.com/now.